everybody. Welcome back to our final Swiss rounds going on here in the Activision Blizzard Collegiate Overwatch Homecoming Games. We need to win one more game as we're heading into the final few rounds, and we need to win two here if we want to lock in that great spot here. So what are you thinking, Apostle?
I think
Oh, I forgot to
that
introduce ourselves. I'm Matthias Talbot, and this is
yeah,
Matthias Eitzen, Apostle.
of course. We need no introduction after being
Yeah.
here for the first few rounds, but happy to be here anyway. And we do have, of course, some very exciting matches in here because final matches are going to have a lot of implications. Like you said, we need one more. It's just one more win if we want to make it into playoffs, and of course, getting 2 wins that'll make it even better as we get started going into playoffs here in the next coming weeks. We are coming off a bit of a rough weekend last weekend. Saints did, of course, lose their matches there, but the guys there, they've shown they're nothing if not resilient, and I have no doubt that they've been working hard all week to learn from their mistakes, and hopefully we can see them bounce back today.
Definitely. As you're going into these last few games here, our opponent today is Converse University. They have the same record as us here in the Swiss rounds, 6-2. So should be looking for a pretty even game. But you got to be thinking, are they coming off of 2 consecutive losses like us, or are they coming off of just a 6-win streak? Get those losses out early. So
Yeah.
the
Con-
Met,
Converse has been, one of those like historically good teams, so it's no surprise to see that they're at the top this year as well. So I would assume that they were in a similar situation to us, where they had a fairly easy run to get to, those the fifth and sixth rounds there last week, and now. Hopefully they're coming off, like I said, the same situation where they ran into like the top of the top, which is what happened to us, and they unfortunately fell. So I think we'll be going in on very equal footing here to start things off. But I'm hoping that, like I said, we've been working hard, and hopefully we'll have something to really give us the edge here as we head into this.
yeah, definitely. And this is looking to be like the last few games we're going to be seeing before another big update. We're going to see a lot of reworks coming
Yes.
down the line here soon for Overwatch, right? The Sombra
Yep,
rework.
Season 7 is coming out next Tuesday, I believe. So that's going to have a lot of interesting stuff to shake things up. Of course, Sombra rework being the biggest one. Now, fortunately, I think that's not going to be too damaging to us because in the season so far, we haven't really been one of the teams that's relied on Sombra. We've been playing a lot of like the Bastion, Symmetra, stuff like that, where we haven't really been focusing on the dive comps too much. So having the Sombra, granted, we don't know whether it's a nerf or a buff yet.
Yeah, it could shake up the meta pretty well.
That
There's some new stuff being added.
Exactly, yeah. The initial transition period will make it a little bit harder. It will be a bit of a nerf just because you're going to have to get used to a new kind of play style, and so you will have to kind of relearn how to get the most value out of her, right? So for that time period, Sombra may not be as strong. After that, though, there is a chance that we end up seeing her become hard meta.
Yeah.
Maybe this rework, her new ability, maybe she ends up being turbo busted, and we end up having to hard lock her. In that case, maybe we do fall behind a bit. Maybe we do have to play a little bit of catch up to get back into like the Sombra swing of things. Or maybe she just ends up being completely awful, and we can just completely write her off. We keep playing our game, and we'll be in a great shape.
Definitely. So lots of things to keep in mind here. A lot of things coming to a close, coming to an apex here. But don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a quick break before we're back here with round 9 of the last 2 Swiss rounds here in Activision Blizzard Collegiate Overwatch. Welcome back, everybody, as we prepare to get into our final, or second last Swiss round here, round 9, St. Clair College versus Converse University. This is the one you really want to win here. You don't want to be put in a scenario where you have to win the next one to get into the playoffs. So you can tell the team is locked in, taking this very, very seriously.
Absolutely, yeah. And for our starting lineup, of course, we are going to have Noxious and Emran on DPS, Razor and Redx on support, and Squeak is going to be playing that tank. Now, from that brief flash, we did see Squeak actually on the Junker Queen. So if he sticks with that, this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Junker Queen obviously very much about getting up close, being able to find value from your knife and from that axe swing in order to kind of proc the bleed damage onto your enemies. Whereas Converse, it actually looks like they may be trying to mirror it. So already we're seeing some interesting implications here come in after the Owl playoffs have finished. Both teams seem to be favoring this Junker Queen style.
Yeah, definitely. It's seeming the Junker Queen is coming to play a lot more here. So we see Orion trying to get some picks on the backline, but Noxious almost finding a heal in there.
Oh, Garchomp is going to find the first pick, though, as Squeak goes down. Garchomp on that high ground, able to find Noxious, though, is going to trade it out as Hammer goes down. Both teams now in a 4v4, but St. Clair missing that tank. They're not going to have the staying power that they want in order to really hold this point down. And it looks like Saints, they are just going to try and back out here. Converse going to chase, but not going to find anything quite yet. Both teams now just going to regroup.
Yeah, that's the thing about the King of the Hill checkpoint-like game modes. You gotta make sure you're regrouped and push together as a team. Emran, though, all on his lonesome here and then trying to dive here. But gets taken out there by Garchomp.
Yeah, he does get caught out. Fortunately, the point flip does come through from the side of Saints, but Garchomp is right there. He responds with 3 quick picks. Saints, despite getting that point flip, unfortunately, they just weren't able to take out the opposition, and it ended up falling one by one.
Yeah, you gotta be wondering if this is a rough start here, but it's not too far yet. It's 14 to 30% there. You're halfway there, halfway behind there. But it looks like both teams trying to find some way to push onto each other here.
Yeah, and I think Saints are really going to have to focus on making sure that they shut down Garchomp as he is getting close to his ultimate here. That overclock is going to be super impactful. And granted, Noxious is getting close to one of his own, but the first ult going down is going to be Orion with the Amplification Matrix. And Gija is going to be right there trying to follow up. He looks for the swing, but is going to get forced back. But Orion is actually going to find the second pick. Now Noxious using that overclock. The beat comes in, but it's going to not be enough to save Saints as Ginja finds 2 with that Rampage. And now that's a lot of ults committed by the Saints there. 3 ults used and no value found on any of them, whereas Converse, they were able to win that with just the 2, the Rampage and the Window. Now Squeak is getting close to the Rampage as well. Emran with the Blade, but still Kiwi managed to save the sound barrier. So Emran is going to have a tough time here trying to find value with the Blade.
Yeah, Emran is going to have a really tough time. He's got to find the perfect opening. Maybe combine that with the Junker Queen all, but looks like Converse has a Blade of their own popping off. Hammer going to find 1. Hammer going to find 2. Jinja going to find another. He's going to dive in. Will they find another one? Emran trying to go in there. Can't really find much with his Blade. And Squeak going to get taken out. Still Kiwi going to find 1 too.
Yeah.
Garchomp just cleaning up. Wow, every time they push, just getting completely repelled, and that's looking to be the point here.
Yeah, a great opening pick there from Hammer. Caught them out on the rotation. Saints are going to try and keep fighting this, but Garchomp has that overclock. Redx is going to get taken out with a quick headshot. Squeak now on the Doomfist. He's not going to last long either as he has to back out very quickly. Garchomp and Hammer combined to take down 2. Orion's going to chime in for 1 on his own. And yeah, first point is going to go the way of Converse. They're doing a great job of really pressuring Saints on their rotations. Like as we saw in that fight there where Hammer opened it up with that dash, they were able to just use the poke damage as Saints was trying to rotate to try and maybe control that high ground and set Emran and Squeak up for success. The poke damage came in, got someone low. Hammer immediately identified it, dashed in, and quickly finished it off. He then comboed that into the Blade. Of course, Emran did use the Blade of his own, but like we said, still Kiwi had that beat and just nullified any and all value that might have been found from that.
Yeah, just Converse, really, really strong showing on that first map. They were just playing as a team. Everything they were doing worked, and Garchomp was just so oppressive on DPS there. We're going to see him maybe switch over to Symmetry here, at least for the first push, get on this point very quickly. We're going to see Squeak switch over to the Reinhardt here.
Yeah, both teams actually are going to be playing this rush, but the notable difference is we do have Noxious on the Bastion. So in the straight DPS comparison, Saints will have the advantage, but it's all going to come down to the positioning, the Maywalls, and whether or not Converse can use their Symmetra teleport effectively to get into their effective range while minimizing the damage that Noxious can do.
We also have Emerin on the Mei here, which is an interesting choice. I haven't seen too much Mei played from him. Maybe this is the key to make this comp work here. Both teams pushing up on each other, just gearing up, but the Saints do have site control here initially first.
Yeah, first.
All of Converse here in this room.
Oh, the Maywall comes out there from the side of Converse. Hammer trying to see if he can maybe create an opening, and it looks like it's going to be successful as Garchomp is going to pick out Red X. Now a nice Maywall is going to block that TP from enabling Converse to engage onto Saints, but Squeak might be getting a little bit caught out here. Manages to charge back to his team, and Squeak gets very low, but Sports trying to keep him up, not quite going to be able to as Ginja finds that pick. Now the point flip not quite coming through just yet, but Saints is losing members very quickly, and yeah, Converse, they do have that staying power, so they just sit there, they cap the point, and now with point flip, they are able to push forward and start cleaning up.
They are cleaning house right now, but Emerin gonna get taken out as well. Saints gonna have to try and regroup and go for another push here.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the ults economy here, Converse, they're getting close to 5 ults with 4 already on the board. St. Clair lacking fairly far behind, especially with Emerin now swapping to that Symmetra away from the Mei. It's going to be a tough fight for St. Clair here, but there is a chance that Converse may overcommit. The Mei ult is going to be the first one thrown out. It is going to freeze up several members of the Saints, and Converse are more than happy to follow up.
No.
That's going to be a team kill coming through from Converse. Just off the back of that Mei ult. They didn't have to use anything else.
Yeah, they still have 4 ults on the board here. What great ult conservation from Converse University here. They're just playing so well, just funneling Saints right into the traps that they set here. But wow, look at that TP.
Yeah, beautiful TP, and Noxious is immediately going to follow up, finds 2 picks. The Shatter is going to find Noxious, but he gets kept up by the immortality field. Oh, Ginja's going to try and take Squeak off the edge, but not quite going to find it. Squeak making sure he knows who's boss here. A beautiful opening from St. Clair, despite the fact that they had such a severe ult disadvantage. They just went in with that TP, and Noxious, with the neutral follow-up that Bastion made, was able to pick off Hammer, which then just snowballed into them winning the fight. And now the points have almost been reversed here as St. Clair are getting close to 5 ults, and they're going to start opening the fight as they use that window. Converse is going to respond with one of their own. Squeak is going to be the first to go down. Now Saints, unfortunately, they found themselves in a bad position as Converse has flipped the map on them. They've got defensive position on the point. Noxious is going to be using that ultimate to try and find a pick, but nothing's going to come out of it as Ginja charges in, finds 2, and yeah, Saints stuck between a rock and a hard place now. They're going to be staggering Noxious a little as well. Bit unfortunate there for the side of Saints.
Yeah, it's fortunate indeed. Squeak gonna just wait for his team, wait to regroup here, and I'd say they have like one more good push in them left with how close Converse is getting here on the point side. And Converse still has the sim wall and still has the Lucio ult to play with too. There's the wall coming out from Emerin though.
Yeah, symbols for both teams coming out actually, so we got ourselves a whole lot of visual clutter on the screen right now. Both teams trying to play among it the best they can, just staying in their quarters. You can see Squeak has the Shatter online, so Saints definitely want to play to try damage that Reinhardt shield. Now Beats coming out from both sides. Squeak's going to use the Shatter, not quite going to find anything, but they are going to be forcing Converse back as they control the point. Squeak getting low. Looks like Converse wants to engage on him, but it's going to be a bit of a mistake as Squeak is able to take down still Kiwi. Now Lamp being used from the side of Converse. Hammer is going to actually take down Emerin with that long range headshot. Blizzard getting thrown in by Hammer, not quite going to catch anyone. Squeak's able to charge out of that. Noxious is getting close to his ult, but it might not be enough. Now the window committed from Orion is going to force Saints back away. Squeak is going to try and get on point, but he's not going to last long as he just gets shredded. Too much damage is coming through. Now overtime is ticking down, and it looks like Saints, they are going to get one last touch, keep that overtime going, but unfortunately it's all for naught as Converse, they hold strong, and they're going to be able to take this first map 2-0.
Yeah, what an overwhelming win from Converse University there. They all just played very well. And that Mei ult there at the end might not have found any kills, but it was such a good area denial there. There's Ginja getting play of the game here.
Yeah, Ginja doing a great job with this Junker Queen, doing just constantly able to really enable his DPS. He's going in, creating so much space, he's drawing so much attention toward him, and you know, especially the knives, is able to always be finding these people, able to kind of pull them out of position. And you know, the DPS of course are doing such a great job to follow up on that, and you know, we got to appreciate the supports as well. Orion and still Kiwi, they're just doing such a good job of staying alive. Like, I think I can count the amount of times they've died on one hand, right? And they're just constantly outputting heals, and that really makes a huge difference because, like, you can see Squeak is trying to go in, he's trying to like stay on point, but the damage is coming in and shredding him. He just can't stay there as long as Converse is, and it seems to be that's what's making the difference right now.
Yeah, Draco Queen's so good at leading the charge there, picking the fights of, like, and when to take them, taking the attention, that speed boost to get on the point so quickly, and just being able to move around those shields very, very well, leading his team to victory there. Ginja playing very, very, very well.
Absolutely. Now, as we're gonna go into map 2 here, it is gonna be Saint's map pick. I think we'll be probably seeing them maybe try to pick a map that more favors the dive, since it looks like Converse are very comfortable on that brawl, on that rush playstyle. So we'll have to see what Saints have in their pocket to try and counteract this.
Definitely, and keeping this in mind, this is round 9. They need to win one entire series game,
Yeah.
To secure themselves into the playoff here. So lots riding on this game and the next, especially if they don't win this one, and it's looking to be a tough road to come back from. But we'll be coming back from a break with the next game very, very soon. Welcome back, everybody. We're gearing up here in our round 9 Swiss rounds of Activision Blizzard Collegiate Overwatch Homecoming. Here we are in Game 2, St. Clair College versus Converse University. It was a rough last match for St. Clair College, but going into this, hopefully get the mental reset, give it your all, bring this to a Game 3 scenario.
Yeah, going in on Midtown here, I will say I'm a little bit surprised to see Saints end up picking this map, because I feel like, given what was displayed on map 1, given the strengths that Converse showed, I think this is a map that will play into those strengths a fair bit. This is a point where, rotations are very important, not really a lot of room for like high ground advantage and stuff, at least not until second and third. And Converse, they did a very good job of punishing rotations and stuff, so we'll have to see what Saints have in mind here. And we are actually going to see, it looks like the Sigma mirror coming out here.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the Sigma come out here. We see Garchomp here, trying to find some picks here. There we go, Emerin. Looks like they've all funneled into that little apartment there, trying to go from an above tack, but Hammer finding it there. Days.
Yeah, a quick speed boost is going to enable Squeak to get to the point, and Noxious is going to find the first pick. Still keep going down. Taking out that Baptiste is going to be huge. Now Converse only relying on that Yari for heals, and you can see their health bars are dropping, getting very, very low. Hammer, Ginja, both getting poked out here. They have to back up or trade out their lives, and Saints are more than happy to force Converse into that decision. Lamp is going to come out to try and save Ginja, but it's just going to be a little too late, and Saints with a seemingly very comfortable first point take.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like this map of all maps is the most steamrolling map. If you're gonna win, you're gonna win hard on that first point. And if you're gonna lose, you're gonna be pushed all the way back into spawn here.
Yeah.
The Hammer getting quickly taken out there.
Garchomp is able to find the pick of Razor going down by that headshot. Losing that window means they do have to give up this high ground. Converse immediately going to retake control of that. And now both teams, again, just kind of stabilizing. St. Clair obviously wants to make sure Razor can get back. And we'll see if they decide to use the application makers to engage here. And we also see Ginja getting close to, or already has his Riveted Clutch, actually. So maybe they try and combo that with Dragons as Saints try to start engaging here. Oh, Squeak is going to find the first pick. Hammer going down. They're not going to have the Dragons. Ginja is going to be using that Gravitic Flux. Trying to engage. Is going to take out Soaks, but looks like he might be stuck or is able to get out. And in fact, is able to take out Squeak as well. Saints not able to capitalize it, not able to keep him trapped in that room. And now, as he escapes, the Dragons disappear right before they get to Saints as Hammer swaps off the Hanzo onto the Ashe now. So, unfortunately, they aren't actually going to be able to win this fight. But the silver lining is that Saints didn't have to use any ults to win that. So now they're getting close to 5 ults here. Now the window from Still Kiwi is going to be used. And the Bastion ult trying to counter that. Looks like it is going to force him off a little bit. But you see, the important thing here is we do have cart progress coming in for the side of Saints. It looks like someone from Saints did drop there. I think that might have been Soaks going down. Yeah, Ginja was able to take out Soaks through that amplification matrix. Cart progress, though, is important as it's forced Converse to kind of give up that high ground and contest here. So now we'll see if Saints wants to try and retake this. The Captive Sun from Orion is going to be looked to come out here. Noxious taking out Still Kiwi, though. That's going to be another very important pick. Ginja getting low, and Noxious is going to take out him, but Hammer trades out as a pick on the Emerin is going to be found. But Saints, they still feel confident that they can win this. They're going to be committing the ult. Squeak uses that Gravitic Flux, and now Noxious is just going to be pushing straight forward, trying to find the Sayari and the Sojourn. I forgot her name there for a second.
Good. Yeah, with so much action going on, it's easy to get so absorbed here. Garchomp does have the overclock ready, though. Ginja trying to hold the line here and try and prevent the payload being pushed onto the first checkpoint. He's getting those shots there through the bus stop.
Yeah.
There's the May ult coming out on the side of St. Clair.
The May ult's going to be huge. You can see that Converse University, they have no choice but to try and contest, which means they get frozen up. Emerin with 2 quick headshots is able to take them out. Soak's going to find one of his own as well. Still Kiwi was able to trade, but you know, at this point the cap has come through. Saints, they've been doing a very good job here, getting into third with 4 minutes on the clock. That's very good. Garchomp is going to be opting to swap off the Sojourn now onto the Genji.
Yeah, that should be an interesting switch there. You know, he wasn't getting as much out of the Sojourn as he wanted there. Just to say that, looks like they're pushing around this first corner there. Hammer has ult ready. Yeah, Bob ready, so we could see some good contention coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the
Saints want to try and hold this corner. The Bob is going to come out. A nice rock from Squeak is going to shut that down, though, and Emerin is going to take out the Bob. But a beautiful Gravitic Flux coming out there from Ginja is going to force out the lamp. Garchomp wants to try and go in, see if he can capitalize on all this damage. But Razor and Soaks are more than happy to heal that up. Soaks now with Sound Barrier. We'll see if they use it to re-engage. Garchomp going to be forced out, getting picked a little low. Hammer is going to back up, try and find a good angle. Now Noxious is going to be using that Bastion ult. A nice Maywall is going to trap Ginja, and the follow-up is there. He gets taken out. Saints now with the man advantage. The amplification matrix committed by Converse, but Saints are more than happy to just push past that and nullify that value. Noxious and Razor taking out people of their own. You can see Garchomp is still alive here in the backline, but we'll see how long that lasts, as he's kind of stuck in no man's land right now.
Yeah, he's very much separated from his team there, and the Saints want to keep it that way as they push up to this final checkpoint here. Looks like Converse University is going to give it their all here. They don't have much ults to play with, but they have enough gumption here to try and push them off of this point here. Not just trying to burn down the tank here.
Yep, Ginja swaps to that Junker Queen and is going to be immediately pushing forward. The lamp's been forced out. Now the Blade's going to be used, but Emerin shuts down that Blade like it's nobody's business. Hammer is able to trade out with a pick onto Noxious, but Squeak and Razor are more than happy to take advantage of the space that's been created. The Razor finds 2 picks of his own, and Soaks chimes in for 1 as well. Saints are going to cap this point with 2 minutes, 34 seconds on the clock. That's a beautiful Midtown map if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it feels like a complete reversal of the last map. You might just have to cut that last map down to just being a bad map for the Saints.
Warm-up map, warm-up map.
Yeah, warm-up, a little bit of a warm-up, because we'll see if Converse University answers with an oppressive attack of their own.
Yeah.
They have their work cut out for them here.
Yeah, Converse definitely does not seem as comfortable on this map, and I think that's evident in their hero swaps. Like, we saw Garchomp swap off the Sojourn to the Genji, and Hammer was on the Ashe, and then Hammer swapped off the Ashe to another Sojourn, so they still wanted to run the Sojourn, but they didn't want Garchomp running the Sojourn. So it seems to me like they don't have a very specific game plan. It looks like they're just kind of trying to, you know, play it by ear, see what they can use to counter Saints, but Saints, they're clearly prepared. They clearly have a specific style, a specific goal in mind, and it's working for them so far.
Yeah, it's working very, very well, but we'll see if looks like we're getting a little bit of a change-up on the side of St. Clair. They're going to run the Echo, and they're going to run the Brigitte on their defense here, which is an interesting pick.
Remember,
you know, trying to play more high ground there.
Stand very still.
I'm wondering about the Brigitte. You think that's a good pick on defense?
Avoid their bullets.
We'll have to see. The Reinhardt and like Converse is running basically the same comp that we saw them run on Oasis University, right? And it did work very well for them. But St. Clair, if they play their rotation smart, they can do basically what Converse did to Saints on the first round, which is really punish their rotations and such, right? You know, they're going to be playing very close together, so Echo's going to be able to get a lot of value, and if Squeak is able to find rocks and those left clicks, he's going to be able to charge ult very quickly. And right away, we're seeing that happen. Like, everyone's critical already, right? So Saints doing a good job of recognizing these rotations.
Shots already going down here. Garchomp trying to find a pick on the Echo. He's going to go in, try and find someone on the back line. They're all focusing the
Squeak
Sigma
getting
there.
very low. You can see the fashion shots want to finish him off desperately. And still Kiwi is going to take out Soaks. And Razor going down as well. Both supports for the side of St. Clair have dropped now. And yeah, with that happening, Squeak is not going to be long for this world as Converse. They're going to clean up. And both teams are going to be taking point A in incredibly quick fashion.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't repel the first push here on mid-town, you usually secure yourself the point on attack.
Yeah. Now, silver lining, though, is like I said, you know, these rotations, they make it so easy for people like Emran and Squeak to build ults quickly, and that's exactly what's happened. Emran is 96 to ultimate, so this next fight should be Saints to win. Granted, Converse do have that Amplification Matrix online, which it could use to open, but if St. Clair can engage smartly, they should be able to take advantage of that copy, which is a very, very powerful ultimate.
There we go, we see the copy come online, and which hero will it be?
Oh, Nox just got run down by that Sim teleporter. He just could not respond to it. And Ginja immediately charges in as now the map has been flipped. No ults committed from either side here quite yet. Emran still has his online though, as well as Orion, just waiting for the perfect moments to use it. Noxious has respawned, so he might be able to find a good flank angle here onto the side of Converse. And it looks like Emran not quite going to be able to find that. And in that process, Hammer actually found two on the Symmetra. Squeak and Soaks both going down. Still no ults being committed here.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but this push is looking a lot better than the Saints push here at this choke point. And I think Saints are just gearing up, going to give up that first checkpoint. Hopefully, play for the next.
Yeah, finally the push does come in. Emran is going to use that copy. Copy's the BAP, so we have two mortality fields potentially on the field. Oh, but he gets taken out of his copy immediately as Garchomp firing through that amplification matrix, doing so much damage, and the sim wall from the side of Hammer is just going to completely prevent Saints from just doing anything. And the cap coming through already. 5 minutes 40 as they head into the third point here. Noxious stuck in his spawn room. You can see him being staggered out. Saints, unfortunately, they seem to just be playing a little bit passive, and Converse, they're making the first move. And it's just working out very well for them.
Yeah, they are in control of the rules of engagement here. Saints need to at least delay their push once. They haven't even repelled one push, it feels like. And Converse just carrying this all the way through. We're seeing Emran on the Junkrat, just trying to slow down their push at all with as much damage as he can get, but not very much.
Ginja has that Shatter online. He's going to be looking for it. Soaks is going to commit that rally, seeing if he can push forward. Ginja's shield is broken. It's going to be forced back, but as I say that, Orion takes out Emran. Oh, but still Kiwi not going to be quite as lucky. He gets trapped there by Soaks, stuck in the corner. Noxious with the follow-up, going to take out Orion. Both supports gone for the side of Converse, and Saints are more than happy to push forward and make sure that that gets punished. And Converse, as they back out now, for what seems like the first time this map, Saints have finally put their foot down and put a stop to the cart.
Yeah, finally, they've finally stopped this overwhelming push from Converse University, but they still have the Earth Shatter online, and all that St. Clair College really has to play against that is the back window, but it's not going to help you against this Earth Shatter here.
Yeah, the Earth Shatter is going to be very powerful here, especially if they can really only have to dodge Squeak shield and Soak's shield. Ginja, though, he gets taken very, very low. You can see he just has to kind of back out, bide his time, doesn't want to go in and risk dying mid-Shatter and losing that ultimate. Now the window going to be used from Orion, but it's very low, not quite going to find the value that Converse need. As I say that, though, Ginja with a Fire Strike taking out Razor, who was able to get his window out first, but it's not going to matter as Garchomp is doing too much damage. Noxious going down now. No ults for the side of St. Clair, and Converse still have that Shatter online. Squeak trying to contest, see if he can buy some time. He's going to get taken down as well, though. Converse, they have the sound barrier up as well. Emran is going to have the tire, and Squeak coming back will have that Gravitic Flux. Oh, Noxious with a nice pick is able to take down Garchomp. This might be the opening Saints need to get back in.
Oh,
But the
there's
shatter
no
from
shatter.
Ginja is going to be
Oh.
good. Takes out Noxious, but Squeak comes back. He has the Grid of Flux, lifts Ginja up in the air, and he gets taken out before the beat comes down. Converse not going to find maximum value from that, and now Emran has the tire, which should just be able to be used to secure this fight. And yeah, Orion goes down. It's just Hammer left alive on point, and he gets taken out as well. A nice
Oh.
last second hold coming out from St. Clair.
Yeah, they have a good 3 meters to 5 meters to play with here, but wow, they needed to stop that push, and they did it. And Converse University looking to tie it up for time here. They just need to get one more push onto the point here and secure this last checkpoint. St. Clair gonna try and stop them in the tracks. Orion keeping his team healthy with these grenade launchers here. Looks like they're going for one last team push. I think they switched to the Junker Queen too.
Yeah, they definitely want to try and play to get that rush down on the Squeak. Garchomp got taken a little low there, but is healed back up. Now the rally being committed by Soaks, but he's so low, he gets ran down and he gets taken out. That ultimate is not going to find anything for the side of Saints. Squeak just barely misses that rock, which means Garchomp is able to push forward. He's sitting pretty right now, and Ginja goes in with the knife. Everyone from the side of Converse chiming in to find picks. And yeah, there's no one left on Saints that can contest this. Converse going to finish with a very respectable time hack of their own.
Yeah, wow. A very even game here on attack, but St. Clair does have the advantage of 14 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Saints are going to be able to put that 14 seconds to use. It definitely seems like both these teams are attacker favored, both struggling a little bit on the defense maybe. But, you know, like I said, if the way that Converse was swapping heroes the first time around was any indication, then like Saints should have the advantage going in here. But that being said, we are going into the extra innings now, so there's a chance that Converse in their attack round, maybe they figured out how to counter what Saints did on the attack. Maybe it's going to be that Reinhardt, maybe it's going to be that Junker Queen. We'll have to see what Converse is cooking.
Yeah, this game is going to be decided by who has the better defense here today. Will it be Converse University or St. Clair College? Because you really need to start winning these games, because going into this, you need to win at least one game to go further through and qualify for the playoffs. So if you lose this one, St. Clair, it's not going to be looking good.
Absolutely, and not even just from like a pure placement aspect. Like you also got to think about, you know, the mental bit of it, right? Like
Definitely.
if you lose this game, sure, you have one more chance in the second game of the day, but then you'll be coming off 3 losses in a row, and that's hard for a player, you know. I'm sure Saints want to get this win here just for nothing else than to get their confidence back up. They want to make sure, they want to prove to themselves that they are still a top team, and they want to dispatch people like this in a fairly easy manner if you're them.
Definitely don't want to be having these long, hard games where they're giving it their all. Ginja getting bursted down there, but manages to get out and healed by his team there. It looks like they're going to go push through the alley here.
Ooh. Yeah, Squeak pushing very aggressively, putting down a lot of damage, and Emran is going to be coming from that back angle. Oh, he gets taken out though, Garchomp with a beautiful railgun, giving Converse the opening already. This is not looking good. If you're the Saints, you need to find an opening now, and it's going to be the opposite, unfortunately, as Ginja takes out Noxious, both DPS down for the side of Saints. And Converse, they have all the free reign in the world. They just start walking straight to point, taking out people on the way. Squeak's still alive. He almost has that ult, but, you know, Converse, they're not even worried about it at this point.
He's so separated from his team there. They're going to pick him off, and that's a major stagger to the side of St. Clair, but they're going to take the point, reset, and try and push for to stop this payload.
And I really like what Emran tried to do there. He tried to create a pincer between the Sigma and the Echo. Oh, Emran is just not having a good day today as Hammer takes him out with that long-range arrow. A beautiful shot, to be sure. Those Hanzo arrows are not easy to hit on mid-air targets.
Definitely, Hammer showcasing his talent here on the Hanzo. Noxious trying to find a pick there with those Sigma walls. They're so tough to play against.
Yeah, you can see Hammer again just finding a couple quick headshots. Hammer again! He can't keep getting away with it. Emran going down once again. Orion uses the captive sun. Saints just collapse like a tower of Jenga blocks, and Converse, they have complete control of this high ground right now. Saints just can't seem to find a moment to breathe.
They only have 10 seconds left. They need to find this checkpoint soon, so the Saints still have a chance to stop this push dead in its tracks. We have the BAP window online, though. Converse
Yeah, all eyes going to be on the tanks here. Squeak's going to be the first one to pull the trigger. It uses that gravitic flux, seeing if he can find someone. Not quite going to be able to. His hammer finds the first pick again. Razor going down, and Garchomp follows up as Squeak gets taken out as well. Now the Amplification Matrix is used, and Noxious is going to find a pick through it. Hammer going down. That's a big carry for the side of Converse going out, but Ginja has that gravitic flux. Garchomp has the overclock. They're going to combine to find picks of their own. Still seeming like they're not even struggling.
Wow. Yeah, with 10 seconds on the clock, they are not worried at all. They managed to land it on the checkpoint. So let's see how far they can take it here. Still says it's in overtime.
Yeah,
So
we see Squeak swapping over to a comfort pick. He's going to go to the Rhine. It's what he knows. It's what he loves. And Saints, hopefully they can make the most happen with it. Now, Emran, hopefully he can manage to dodge Hammer's arrows this time. And it looks like Hammer's actually swapped this on the Genji now, so that should make it easier for him. He's going to copy the Junker Queen with that Elko ultimate, and is going to be enabling Squeak to go forward. Squeak finds a Fire Strike onto Garchomp. Soak's going to take out Hammer as well. Both DPS for the sides of Conference going down. And that's going to be, looks like finally Saints able to put a stop to this.
Wow.
But it took a long time for them to do it. Converse able to get a whole 2 extra points and then some.
yeah, they got the checkpoint, and they even moved it further than that. So the Saints have their work cut out for them here. Let's see if those extra 14 seconds will aid them in their attack here. And I'm
It
wondering
it is worth noting that Converse, they did all of that with very minimal point contests, if any. I think there was one near the end of the second point there as they were coming out from under bridge. Saints was able to go in with the flux, but it was very, very minimal, right? So Saints, they're going to have to, unless they can surpass the success that Converse showed on their attack, they're going to have to take multiple overtime fights here.
Definitely. It's coming down to the wire here. Looks like we're seeing the same comfort picks from both teams. They don't want to try anything new. They want to try something that they're super comfortable with and make sure they secure this much needed win.
Yeah, both teams believing that they have the answer in their hands. Maybe they just need to play it a little bit better, need to make sure it's optimized to its maximum potential. We'll have to see if it's the right answer or if it's just hubris.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, this map has been so attack-sided, so I'm wondering to see if Converse has any answer, anything they can change to try and delay the inevitable attack. And look at the Lucio go, making a very quick push on here. Hammer's trying to hold the underpass here, finds a couple, but he has to back off. There's too many. What?
Oh, the TP came out. Noxious almost didn't make it through. I thought he got caught out there for a second, but all of Saints are able to make it through into this room. Now they're going to be able to start setting up for how they want to start pushing onto this point.
It looks like Converse is just going to back off and try and wait for the funnel out there, because they need to be on the point, not in that room. The shield's going to go down very, very quickly, just like that. They're all funnel in that room.
Teleporter coming out. Saints are able to take a quick reposition, and Noxious is going to be looking to see if he can find a pick. Takes a few people pretty low. Hammer and Garchomp both at 1 HP, but not quite able to be chased down. Both of them are going to be able to survive as they stay in this room here. But Saints, they are sitting on the point now. They're starting to contest, and we can see the ults are starting to get closer and closer. And it looks like Squeak's going to be able to take out the Moira with that Fire Strike, but Lucio got taken out there. I can't see whose team it was. I think it might have been Converse's Lucio taken out. No, it was Soaks, and actually Razor went down as well. So unfortunately, Saints, they're losing members. Squeak able to take out another one, but unfortunately it's not enough. 1 minute left on the clock here now, Mathais.
Yeah, that is disastrous for St. Clair College. They needed to take that point immediately, just like Converse did to them, but that extra 14 seconds is not going to look like any advantage here, as they only have 1 minute left to try and cap this point. And it looks like Converse has an amazing lockdown on the
Yeah,
defense.
and Saints are going to be trying to just swap it up completely. Emran going to be on the Torb now. Finds a little shot onto Ginja, gets taken low. Oh, a lot of members for Converse going low, actually, but that's going to force Orion to pop the coalescence. He's going to keep his team nice and popped up. But Squeak with the Fire Strike, taking out still Kiwi, who had the beat up. That's going to be very important for St. Clair. Now they're able to get on the point. Emran taking out Hammer as well. Big advantage in numbers here on the side of Saints. But Converse, they still think this is winnable. They commit the Rampage, going to force Soaks to use the sound barrier, and still Saints are managed to keep control. That was a beautiful Rampage from Ginja, but Soaks had the better response to it, and it looks like they are going to be able to cap this. But it's going to be an overtime cap. Mathais, they need to move this an entire point segment and then a few more meters if they want to win this game.
Yeah, they have their work cut out for them here, overtime, and they need to get a checkpoint and then some. And Hammer, keep hammering down these shurikens here.
Oh, and look at his ult charge.
But Squeak also has
Oh,
Shatter.
Noxious, a beautiful
Wow.
opening pick, taking out his counterpart. Garchomp goes down, and Squeak uses the Shatter onto Ginja, who's going to be followed up on as well. A nice ult coming out there from the side of St. Clair. It didn't find a lot, but it found exactly what it needed to. And Converse, they're going to be contesting in vain. Now, Silver Lining, Converse didn't use any ultimates for that, and Squeak did use the Shatter. And in fact, that Shatter going down might make things a little tight here for the side of Saints, as now they have nothing that can counter that Genji Blade.
If they do have, yeah, they don't have anything to counter it. They just have to try and get those picks here with the overclock, probably.
Yeah, they have mechanics to counter it.
Yeah, they have things to counter it, but nothing to an easy shutdown. Cool. There's the Molten Core coming out.
Yeah, there's the Genji Blade. He's going to be pushing forward. Takes out Emran. Oh, no, it's actually going to be the turret that gets found, and he gets taken out. Noxious takes out Hammer mid-Genji Blade. Now Garchomp using that overclock. Noxious and Garchomp both going to be stuck in a battle here, but Garchomp is going to be finding more value as he takes out Soaks and Razor, and Garchomp and still Kiwi there on the point are going to clean up. Unfortunately, Saints not going to be able to find the value. Converse are going to go to match point here in this series.
Yeah, Apostle, that was such a crazy push by Garchomp there at the end, managing to pick off the entire team.
Yeah,
if that was the play of the game, I would not be surprised. Let's see it.
Yep, that's exactly what we see.
Yep, there's the overclock. One. Another one. There it is. Slips. So very slippery there. He finds the double right there at the end. I think he got all three. So that was an amazing team kill by Garchomp there.
Yeah, a very good job there from the Sojourn. And definitely, like, it looks like, as we said, Converse, they struggled on the defense first time around, but by the second point, it looks like they had kind of figured out what they'd been doing wrong, and maybe the Junker Queen comp, maybe that was the answer. Definitely seemed like, especially there on the last fight that we saw the Junker Queen comp push in early, and it forced out the Shatter. It did get value, it did win them the fight, but you know, that's a big ultimate committed just to like be able to nullify the Junker Queen's value. And after that, the next fight, it was just very much in Converse's favor.
Yeah, like it was a good fight that the Saints put up there and an overwhelming offense there in the beginning, but Converse answered with a great offense of their own and then just had that much better of a defense the second time around there in the overtime. So it's not looking good for St. Clair College,
Yeah.
but
Not looking good, but they're not down and out quite yet. We do have one more
one
map
more
on
game.
the table.
At least
At
we
least
might
one
see
more
a
map.
game 5 if St. Clair digs deep.
Reverse sweep is doable.
Exactly, and they showed that they're starting to get ever so slightly better throughout the match. This match was a close match.
Oh yeah,
unlike
far
the
better
first
than the
map.
first map.
So let's hope they continue this momentum of getting better and better right after a quick break. We'll be back with game 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game 3 of Activision Blizzard Collegiate Overwatch St. Clair College versus Converse University. It is heating up. Converse University taking a big 2-game lead. St. Clair needs to win this to secure themselves a spot in the playoffs, or else they have to definitely win the next game here in the Swiss rounds later today.
Absolutely. Saints, this is a do or die moment for them. The reverse sweep has to start here if it's going to happen. And it looks like they're going to be sticking with the same roster. It looks like Redx is back in for Soaks, so maybe this will be the key. We are going to be on Flashpoint Suravasa here. Now, this is a map that we've seen Saints have a lot of success on. You know, Redx very successful on that Lucio pick. And right away, we see them going straight in. Squeak on the Junker Queen. They're going to try and take out Ginja, but he survives by the skin of his teeth, and it's actually going to be Hammer who finds the first pick. Still Kiwi following up. Noxious goes down as well. Squeak finally taking out Ginja there, but it might be too late as Garchomp finds one of his own. And yeah, Saints, they are down way too many members. They're going to try and stall this point for a little bit, but it's not going to do much as first flip is coming in here for the side of Converse.
It is rough. St. Clair finding the good engages, but Converse just managing to outplay them in the mechanical skills here.
Yeah, you can see Ginja got so low there, and it looks like Saints actually thought they killed him as they all seem to kind of disengage from him. So it must have just been some last-second clutch healing coming in from the side of Converse to keep him up. But now, Saints, they're going to be back trying to break into this. Noxious back on the Bastion and Emran on that Genji. So it looks like they're kind of trying to mirror Converse's strategy of the Genji, and Squeak is going to find first pick, Garchomp going down, big source of damage being taken out, which means Noxious can push forward, takes out Hammer as well. Now no damage on the side of Converse. They are going to be trying to stall here on the point by the looks of it. Ginja still staying alive, but finally taken out, and Kiriko's not going to last long either.
Yep, Squeak there, cleaning up, leading his team to take this point. Razor and Redx also getting good picks here. 74 on the point, that was a great spot to cap it out. You have a little bit more to play with. I think I can get one more push even if the point gets flipped out here. But great plays all around.
And we also see that Converse, they're running a Kiriko, whereas we have the Baptiste. So both have a form of immortality, but it'll all be all about who can utilize these ultimates better.
Yeah, I definitely think the immortality field is a little bit better here in most scenarios. But
and speaking of the ultimates, it's going to be the amplification matrix coming out for Razor, but Converse, they just back away. It's getting no value. They're going to be peeking it a little bit, and now the Kitsune Rush coming in from the side of Orion. It's going to be a ton of damage coming in very, very quickly. Still Kiwi going to be able to take out Noxious. Emran commits the blade, but gets shut down as Still Kiwi uses that beat to keep his team healthy. Converse making it look easy as they're going to take a team kill flawlessly on their side, not losing a single member.
Yeah, but the percentages are very close right now. St. Clair needs to get on the point very, very soon as these points tick faster and faster.
These points tick so fast, though, I don't think they'll have a touch here. If they do, it'll be very, very rough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, touch does come through, and Redx is actually going to use the beat in order to sustain that touch. Emran is going to be dashing in, gets a few cooldowns out. No support ults on the side there of Converse. Neither team actually, but the Rampage hits 5! Ginja, what are you doing? You've completely ruined this for the Saints.
Oh,
just
wow.
ruining their hopes and dreams of capturing this first point. Squeak and Emran are able to take out a few as well, but a 5-man Rampage.
Wow. Yeah, that was well played from Ginja there. Like, you didn't have to do that. You probably could have saved that for the next map, but that just completely shut down any sense of hope the Saints had of taking that point. But here they are. Regroup. That's the good thing about Flashpoint. Regroup. Go next. You know, try and reset the mental. But after that, ending it in that fashion, it's going to be hard.
And this is where the big key difference comes in between the Kiriko and the Baptiste. Sure, you both have some form of immortality, but Kiriko's cleanses, whereas Saints doesn't. So when Ginja hits an ult like that, there is nothing you can do from the side of Saints if you don't have some kind of either the immortality field or the sound barrier.
Noxious does as well. He's going to pop it, but the blade comes out from Hammer there. Doesn't find the pick, though.
Oh, he does get taken out. Noxious and Emran are both going to be able to take out the other DPS. But Noxious get knifed and taken out by his own grenade. A nice reaction there from Ginja to make sure that he's able to confirm the kill. And Saints are going to be able to take first flip here on the second point.
A little bit of a messy take, but a clean take nonetheless. They got the point. Clean or messy, doesn't really matter. You have the point.
Yeah.
And they do have some ults to play with here. as well.
Yeah,
They have the
Squeak
Junker
getting
Cornell.
close, actually just going to get that Rampage of his own. We'll have to see. I'm
the
sure he
Mail.
wants to find the same value that Ginja was able to with his last ultimate. Hammer's actually going to be swapping over to the Reaper here, though.
That's an interesting pick. I think he was trying a good success on the Genji, but maybe he just wants a more impactful aerial denial ult.
Yeah, Kitsune Rush coming in. Oh, a nice mail from Emran, though, is going to force them all right back. That Kitsune Rush not going to be finding the value that Converse would have liked, but the mail has expired now, and the Kitsune Rush still on the field. But the May Wall this time, they're making sure that it's not getting any value. 3 for the Squeak with that Rampage. He gets taken low, but Redix is able to respond with the sound barrier of his own. Both sound barriers committed now. Both teams still fighting this out. No picks coming up from either side quite yet. Oh, but as I say that, Noxus with a beautiful grenade snipe through that window takes out Garchomp and Ginja, still Kiwi, both getting very low, but they still want to fight this. Hammer goes straight in. Noxus is going to be taken out by that knife. Razor gets engaged on as well. Ginja finds 2. Emran is able to shut 1 down, but Ginja has the Rampage again and is finding the picks. Ginja's been doing such a good job at finding value with these Rampages.
Redix, I think he's going to look to go back for his team here and just try and regroup. Go for next. They do have 99 on the board there. They just have to get one good push in, and they have secured themselves a point for themselves.
Yeah.
A great last-ditch push there for Converse there.
Yeah, but you see, look at these ults. Converse has Garchomp's Overclock and Hammer very close to that Death Blossom, where Saints, they don't really have anything quite yet. Their next ult online is probably going to be Noxus's Artillery Strike, but it doesn't quite have the same value that Overclock and Death Blossom do. Oh, Hammer's actually behind them right now. You can see he's trying to engage from the back. He's sneaking in. He's finding a couple shots.
Ooh.
He's going to get forced out, though. But in the meantime, the distraction was too effective as Garchomp takes out Emran without even needing that overclock. And Squeak going off the map there. Yeah, Saints are just going to reset.
Yep, Saints go reset, but now Hammer has Death Blossom for the next push as well. And they also have Overclock to play with, so it's going to be a rough uphill battle here for the Saints, especially if they pop those
And
ults.
once again, 80%. You only have a few more seconds left here. If you want to touch this point, it's going to be a tough job for the Saints here. 90% now. The Death Blossom being committed. It is going to find the Immortality Field. Razor takes him out, but unfortunately, yeah, they can't touch point. The pressure is just too strong. They can't even make it through the choke. Second point going the way of Converse. Saints have one more chance.
Yeah, while that Death Blossom didn't find any kills, you had to deal with it. You had to pop the Immortality Field, they had to back off a little bit, and that was just enough time to secure them the second point. Now, Saints have their back up against the wall here. They need to find a point sooner or later, or else that's going to be it for them for this series.
Squeak going back to that Reinhardt now. Like we've said, this is the classic comfort pick, and it might be able to provide them a little bit of reprise here from Garchomp on the Sojourn. But Hammer is back on the Genji now. He's going to be dashing right through that shield, deflecting the fire strikes, and that's exactly what we see happening. Mailed and Coalescence being committed here, and it looks like Coalescence is going to be taking people low. Now the beat being committed by still Kiwi. Converse is looking comfortable. Garchomp finding a pick onto Noxus, and Ginja finds pick on Squeak as well. The Overclock's taking out Emran. Ginja and Garchomp doing such a great job of locking down this point. They just took full advantage of those support ults, and Saints are not able to find an opening.
Yeah, all they have is the Amplification Matrix to play with here, so not too much in the way of game-changing ultimates, unless they can find a great spot to place that.
Ginja has the Rampage. He's going to go in, finds 3, and immediately Razor and Redix both taken out. Such amazing follow-up from Converse. Saints just deleted off the back of that Rampage. Ginja on fire right now.
Another team kill. That's going to be tough to come back from, especially with 60% already on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, this is last fight.
This is probably going to be the last fight we're going to see here today against Converse University, unless St. Clair can manage to dig deep, find something to make this work.
Yeah, St. Clair need to go even further beyond right now. Squeak gonna use that shatter, not gonna find anything though. Razor is gonna have his ultimate online if he wants to pop it. He gets taken so low, he's gonna just barely stay alive. And Squeak able to take out Ginja. 97% on the point now, so when you see touch does come through. Hammer with that blade takes out Emran, is gonna be looking for Noxus as well. It's gonna find it, he's gonna see if he can get one more. Not quite able to, but has the damage been done already? Squeak seeing if he can take these members out, but Garchomp takes out Razor. It's just Squeak alone here on the point.
Oh no.
And Squeak knows that this is his final moment. Converse winning this series 3-0.
Well played by Converse. They played hard and they played well. They showed that they're not a team to be trifled with. The 3-0 sweep here. I wonder what the play of the game was here today. Oh, yeah,
It has to be that 5-man Rampage.
Oh, definitely. Wow, look at that. Funds 1, funds 2, funds 5. Just taking them all down. That happened quite a few times here today against Converse. They just, when they find that advantage, they press that advantage all the way to the end. They don't just want to get a couple kills. They don't want to just get a 3K. They want to get that team wipe.
Yeah, absolutely. Ginja he put on a Junker Queen masterclass there. Every single ultimate was so incredibly impactful, and Saints, like, they did their best, but unfortunately, like, once you get hit by that rampage, if you don't have the cleanse, it does a lot of damage, and sometimes it doesn't seem like it because it's damage over time, right? It's not a lot of the initial hit doesn't hit hard, but the longer you fight, the more painful it gets.
Yeah, and the anti-heal aspect of that as well
Absolutely.
is so tough to play against. When they didn't have a cleanse, they didn't have a Suzu. You pointed that out earlier in the match. That was the Kiriko change. There was such like not
Yeah,
having that cleanse is very very tough to play against.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, Saints not going to be able to find it, but all hope is not lost quite yet. They do have one more chance to get into playoffs
Yeah,
as we
they
come up to our
need
next
this.
game.
They need to win this. I know they really want to get into playoffs here, so
Yeah,
it's time to bunker down, get on the line,
yeah.
and we'll be back with our second and last round of Overwatch Swiss games after a quick break.